Hi, this is Veronica Hughes, and I'm going to talk to you about my 4-week independent project, which was a nature Photoshop. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a nature-inspired design, and we will be covering some useful tips as we work through the process of creating the image that will show a human being pulled into nature. My project plan review, I think that I followed my plan pretty well. I gave myself time to learn new things before I just kind of threw myself into it. So it was really helpful to have that time to learn before I just kind of rushed into it. Here's the image I created and the image I will be showing you how to make. I really am pleased with the outcome. I use Photoshop CS6, obviously. Okay, so we will be starting off with a solid image of a model that we can use for our creation, and it can be kind of difficult to find like the right images, so you have to keep in mind like what you want to get across in your image. And I used my friend, which you can see to the right. Before we get to the actual designing of the image, we need to take Kaylee away from the picture that I showed you in the last slide. There are several ways to take her out of that. I just use the pen tool, which you can see in the picture in the top right. So you'll just follow the contours of the body and continue to trace around the figure until you have made your way around where you want to close your path. Once you have closed the path, you hold the Control key and you click along the path to get a drop-down menu where you will choose Make a Selection and you press OK. Next, you should see the marching ants. It's kind of like a moving line. That will show that you have selected it. So you'll go to the Select menu, which you can see down in the right-hand corner, and you'll choose Inverse before hitting the Delete button on your keyboard to delete the background from the image. And here is what your model should look like. This is what mine looks like anyway. So you'll want to create a new Photoshop document to start your project. Once you have your document set up, you double click on the background layer to unlock it. And you'll bring up the Layer Styles dialog box, check off the Cover Overlay, and for the fill, we will be starting off with that color, which is a medium gray color. And then you'll drag your model onto the new document and close the original. So here is what the cover overlay and everything will look like. Just wanted you guys to know what you should be looking for. Then when you have your model in the middle of your new document, you'll press Command T for free transform, and then you'll click and drag one of your four corners outwards while holding the Shift key to keep the scale the same even though you're making it larger. Next, you're going to open up the image of the tree roots, of any tree roots really, and you'll want to crop it so you're only left with the bottom half of the image, or whatever tree roots you want to use. Once you have cropped the image, you bring it into your Photoshop document, and so from there you will place the image on top of the other layers and add a mask by clicking on the icon that you see in the bottom right hand corner. It should be on the bottom of your layers palette. Now that we have applied a mask to the image, we can use the eraser to paint out the areas we don't want. We can now begin to mask out certain parts of the tree roots that you don't want to be seen, and it'll make it easier for you if you lower the opacity of the layer while you are brushing so that you can see the figure underneath, just so that you don't erase things that you'll need later. So you'll press Command T to do the free transform again, and then you will hold the Control key and click on the image, and you will see a menu where you want to select Warp. And what this will do is let us manipulate different parts of the image so we have more control of the shape. If you want to slide and pull different spots in order to make it blend in with the direction of the leg, just so it kind of looks more realistic. This is the free transform drop-down menu, like I mentioned in the past slide. Once you're happy with the direction of the roots, you'll press the Enter key to apply the changes, And before getting too far into the masking of the roots layer, I duplicated the layer by pressing Command J so that I could work off the duplicated layer and turn off the visibility of the original layer below. This is an example of what you should see so far. It's similar to this. This is what I have. So next you will take your lasso tool, which you can see in the top right hand corner, to create a selection around the smaller branch that overlaps a leg. It's actually a vine. And with it selected, you press Command J to duplicate it onto a new layer, and once you have done that, you press Command T and then click on the image while holding the Control key. When the menu appears, choose Flip horizontally and press the Enter key, and you'll also have to rotate it a little bit to just follow the curve of the body. Then you'll warp it like we did earlier and manipulate the shape in the direction of the body or branch or whatever you want the vine to go around. You'll continue this technique to other branches and vines around the body to make it appear as though your model is being taken into the nature around them. And as you can see around Kaylee's arm, you can see the vine that I warped, and also to her, your right hand, her hip. You will continue these strategies, such as the ones listed before, to add more to your project, and then you will create a new layer and move it just above the background layer before switching to your Marquee Tool, which is in the top right hand corner. And you'll make a rectangular selection to represent the ground behind the model. And once you have the selection active, you fill it with the paint bucket, and you'll create a new layer above the ground layer. You select that color and begin to paint in some of the taller grass behind the tree. You'll want to get the grass brush. Then you'll create another layer just below the top, and it'll be the hue saturation adjustment layer, and begin to paint in some more grass. And remember to vary the size of the brush so that the grass looks realistic. And this is what I had after this. And you can see that I actually have some smoke in the background, but that's not really important because I deleted it later. After adding the grass, make sure that the grass coloring is realistic. And next you'll need a background. I decided to go with a stormy sky, just kind of, I thought it fit in. You will then add some gradient to your project to make the edges look darker, and it'll bring your eye to the center of the creation or composition. And this is what I think my final project. Yeah, that was my final project. Here are all the layers I ended up with. There's a lot of masking you see down here, or clipping. Here I just kind of, as you can see towards the right, I turned off some of the layers, and I'll be adding them on so you can see what it looks like with the different components added on. Okay, overview of the entire project. I definitely think I learned very much from this project. I learned how to use some tools in Photoshop that I never even knew existed before this project, so I think this is a learning success for me. And this is my final project. Thanks for watching, guys.